right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a long overdue update video on the Jeep. This is a 2004 Jeep TJ that I did a 5.3 LS swap, as well as a 4L60E transmission swap from the original manual. This is an update video on the things that I might have done differently had I had to do it again. It's been 5 years. I completed this just before COVID, and I been gotten some things done to it since then. I did get a set of half doors, which I do really like. But here is the update, and I haven't done a video since I updated the wiring, but I did clean up the wiring in here. I loomed it all up, all the extra stuff that I ended up doing, um, because the last time I did a video was probably a big rat's nest. But let me tell you all the things that are wrong with this vehicle. So first of all, I have an AC leak. I had fixed I had fixed these lines once before, but I still have a leak there. I do have a small engine oil leak. This was a junkyard 5.3 that I did some cleanup on, but it still has a fairly small oil leak. It does have some belt noise that drives me crazy. The transmission is perfect. I had that rebuilt. That does great. The transfer case has a fairly sizable leak. It's really annoying. I need to pull the transfer case. Here's the thing. This is a stock 5.3, and I think that if I had to do it over again, I'm gonna add some driving video, but the stall on the torque converter, I think it makes it really kind of sloppy off the line. It's slower than I would have liked. It's slower than I would like. So also, I would prefer to have a stage two cam or a Chuck Norris cam or something on this. I wish I would have done that when I did the swap. I wish I would have had the engine overhauled and taken it apart more fully. But at the beginning, I didn't know if I was going to finish the swap. I wanted to just proof of concept, get it in. All right, what else is wrong with this Jeep? Um, so I have all new steering. This is the Curry Correct Link steering. Um, I have their track bar. I have all new upper and lower control arms, but the axles are stock. And there is I think a U joint over there that I need to replace. This does not have lockers. There is also an exhaust leak in this because the welder job that I had was cheap and it shows with the welds underneath it. I need to get that fixed, but it hasn't been annoying enough to fix. In the back as well is the stock standard 35. It's been fine. I did finish doing some bump stops since the last time. These are the Rancho 9000s, I think. But this is the stock Dana 35, no lockers. What else? What else? What else? There is a check engine light. It is a knock sensor. I replaced the knock sensors when I did this, but this is my new um, check engine light. The one on the dash doesn't work. This is to the LS. Also, my CarPlay, the wired CarPlay with this Pioneer doesn't work USB-C with the new iPhones. So I don't have CarPlay, which sucks. What else? I do love these half doors though. I still love the Jeep, still love the way it looks, but you tell me in the comments, what do I do next with this thing? My wife thinks I'm crazy. I kind of want to tear it all down, bolt by bolt, rebuild it, new axles, fix the transfer case, fix the exhaust leak, new torque converter, juice up the cam a little bit. Uh, what that would be it for the suspension, huh? I've got a laundry list of things, just like everybody else with a freaking Jeep. There's no end to the things that you want to do to these Jeeps. But in terms of the actual conversion itself, it worked great. The Novak parts were awesome. I like the shifter that I've got. This is oh, well, yeah, I could keep going with this whole laundry list of things, but I hate this tire carrier. It's really hard to get open. I would replace it completely if I were committed to still spending money on this. When I started the swap, there were no 392s, and now there are. And I'm like, well, good Lord, I should just have just bought one of those instead of continuing to spend money on this. But you can see under here that that's from the transfer case, and I really need to get that figured out. Under here, new drive shafts. Of course, when you do the SYE, I had to get new drive shafts. I replaced the sway bar bushings. Again, all new uppers and lower control arms, track bar on the back. Springs are from Curry. This is a 4-inch Curry lift with the bump stops. But this Jeep had been run ragged. They also have a pretty big body lift on it that I got it when I bought it. And I'd love to lower that down because I don't like how much body lift there is on this. I want to powder coat the frame. Um, like I said, fix the engine leak. But it's just an endless part list of things that I would want to do to this Jeep. Like, yeah, the body gap, see, between the frame and the liner there. I hate that. Man, I would want to do a bed rug. I would want to reskin these with maybe like cat skin to redo the seats. I want to paint the dash. Oh, the freaking heater core's out. So I'd have to pull the dash to do the heater core, which I really don't want to do. The windshield's cracked. So basically, again, I hate this orange padding. I don't know if anybody's figured out a way to get rid of that, but there's just so many things, silly little things. These half doors that I have some, wear and tear on them. I'd love to rip this down and paint it. These lights they're not hooked up anymore because once I redid the wiring, there was a crappy job with the wiring. I almost rip those out. This winch doesn't work. Again, these lights don't work. I could smoke these out. Um, I still like the wheels and tires. Still think those look good. They're 35s. It's fine. It's fine for me. But I don't know. Should I get a 392? I won't get the money out of this that I spent on it. Golly. A lot of money went into this, and I do enjoy driving it. My kids enjoy it, but I have a family of five, and I can only fit four in in this. So the 392 obviously would give me 5 seats, 4 doors, but it's not as cool, right? Anybody can buy a 392. Not everybody has a 5.3 TJ. What else? I got my notes inside on all the things that I would do differently. But you got any questions, comments, driving tips? What else? What else should I do? How can I make this a less boring video? That's a that's my transcooler, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I had also upgraded the steering. That's like Borgenson stuff, whatever. Turns pretty good. No slop in the play, really. The next thing would just be axles. I don't really need lockers. This is a mall crawler, just for fun around the neighborhood. But I feel like if I tried to sell it, I wouldn't get the money out of it. And like I said, all the little ticky tack things that are wrong with it. I need to replace the front brakes. They're squealing, as you heard if you watched the drive along video. And it's just not as fast as I thought it would be. I guess I had lowered expectations with a stock 5.3 coming out of a Suburban, but this is much lighter than the Suburban. And so, I did this whole swap, and my friends say, "Oh, is it fast?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not great." But I think some of that is the cam that could up the horsepower and the torque converter. And maybe like if I got new axles, I don't know if I should go back. with the 456 gears, which is what I have, or the 488s. ChatGPT said 488s would work, but I guess that depends on the cam and the tires, which I'm not going to change those. So, what do y'all think? Am I crazy? Should I just be happy with what I got? Just drive it? Should I sell it? Get a 392. I've got the full doors, got the hard top. Probably needs a refinish on the hard top, which is another bucket of money that I'd need to spend. But anyway, it's been a million years since I did an update video. Figured maybe it was helpful for others to see. If there's anything else you want me to show or do a video on, let me know. Peace out. So at about 40 miles an hour, the audio gets really bad. So I'll try to voice over a little bit. I just tried to get some driving footage, but the top is off and the half doors are on. So it's really loud in the cab. But I'm going to try to get some footage of me accelerating and talk over the bad parts. So as I mentioned, the stall on this thing is weird. It doesn't, I mean, I don't get any acceleration until about 2200 RPM. You can see it in this next one, but I think I need a new torque converter. And that one wasn't normal. I mean, it didn't shift till like 4500 RPM. That's definitely not normal for this. So for those who didn't watch the original series, which was kind of long and really boring in retrospect, I'm not like Light Bright Nation, and I'm not like Goon Squad. That's all interesting and stuff. I just wanted to relay what I had learned through swapping my engine. But what happened was I'd had a Jeep in high school, and it was my first love. And I tried to swap an engine with my grandpa, and we were unsuccessful. And so in 2018, I bought this Jeep. It was a manual. Like I said, it's an '04 TJ, and it was fine. But as you can see, I live in Houston, and there's a lot of stop and go traffic, and it just wasn't fun to drive on the highway. And I thought, I've seen some guys do engine swaps in their backyard with very few tools, and so I thought, I bet I can figure this out. So with the help of Novak conversions and a junkyard LS motor, I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I was definitely successful at it. But again, there are things that in hindsight I would have done differently. I would have beefed up the engine a bit. I still am unsure on the 6L80, which is a stronger transmission if you want to go up in horsepower. There's a lot of people that say it's too big for the Jeep, and the others say it's just fine. I don't know. But I had the 4L60E rebuilt because I needed a new, whatever it is, output shaft to mate up to the NP231 transfer case. It's not the Rubicon transfer case. It's the stock transfer case, which is probably better for what I'm doing because I'm not rock crawling. And again, this is not a Rubicon model, so it has the old axles, no lockers, and maybe I would have started with a Rubicon. I like this black one. He had already done the re-gear. He had the wheels and tires on it. He had a lift on it, but I ended up ripping the lift out and putting on a Curry lift. It rides fine. It's not great, but it rides much better. I did have death wobble when I first bought it in 2018. That's when I redid all the suspension stuff. So I've pretty much done all the suspension underneath except for axles. And I looked at East Coast Gear Supply. I had looked at buying new axles. I've looked at all the swap videos. And again, for my purposes, I guess until I blow one up, there's no real need for me to replace my axles. It's just, you know, something that I, for whatever reason, think I want to do, but I definitely don't need it. But you can see on the highway, I mean, it does get up and go. It idles great. Gas mileage is still not great. I don't know what it is, but it may be 11 or 12. I was expecting better gas mileage, but that is not what happened. And yeah, it's slow to get off the line. You can see it's like, if I jam on my foot, between 1,000 and 2,000, it just doesn't do anything. And so, it feels like a station wagon could beat me off the line. And then it does pick up. So I think I need a higher stall torque converter. And again, I'd like a little choppier idle. The only other thing I didn't mention that I really think I want to do is do some exhaust cutouts. I had those on a Tahoe in high school, and they're pretty obnoxious, but it's kind of like the 392. You can turn off the exhaust and turn it back on. I love to put on a little cutout and really let the V8 eat. You also notice, well, maybe I shouldn't point out my registration, but I completed the swap, and then COVID hit, and it was tough to get inspections. So what else? So look, this is a long video, but I wanted to get some driving footage out and show the acceleration and just the drivability. The gauges all work. Like I said, I want to replace the CarPlay to maybe a wireless CarPlay head unit so that I could actually have CarPlay in here. And I just watch all these videos of restored Jeeps, or I don't know if y'all have ever seen Davis Autosports and all the refreshes they do to the TJs, but I think it'd be really cool to have a fully restored TJ with the engine beefed up and no leaks underneath, and actually be a little bit quicker off the line and be a little bit growlier. That's not a word, but I want the cam for the loping, and then I want to be able to let it eat with the exhaust cutouts. So again, I don't know if I should keep spending money on this or sell it and go get a 392. You can see the acceleration here. It gets up pretty good. I'm not jamming on it. I've never actually floored it. It will burn out if you hold the brake and press on the gas, but I wasn't in a place to do that. So I've never floored it. I guess I could, but I'm nervous with the transmission and the rear axle. But if I ever plan to swap the rear axle, maybe I should go gun it and have some fun with it. But I don't think the 0 to 60 time is going to be very impressive. But if I got a cam and a tune, maybe this would be a little bit better and a little bit more fun. But it's definitely more fun than the 5-speed 4.0, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. But those are the things I probably would do differently if I had to do it all over again. But if you guys have anything else you want me to do or video or explain, I'm happy to do it. So let me know. Thanks, guys. Next time. Bye.